Perfect. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is, you might have had a sneak peek, we're going to be making slime for this science experiment. Okay, so I'm seeing some happy faces, but this is going to be edible slime, so we can taste it at the end of it. Now, saying that, when you see all the ingredients that go into our slime, it might be the healthiest ingredients. So we can have a taste of it and taste a little bit of it, but you're not going to eat the full bowl of it because it's just full of sugar and it's going to be too sweet. But you can definitely try a little bit of it. Yes, is it Emma or Natalie? I'm not sure who has their
Emma, that's Emma. I want to tell you that my mom doesn't like slime.
Oh, she doesn't? So you're going to put it in her face? She's not going to like that.
Yeah, I usually, and she also doesn't like Smarties. And anytime we have made, 2 times I grabbed a piece of Smarties, hid it behind my back, and I said, Mom, I have a really good candy for you behind my back. And
she has to do her face.
She didn't like the Smarties.
yeah, and then she said, okay. And then I said, can you get your candy bag down so I can put it in? And then candy bags are on the top of our refrigerator. And she said, okay, here's my candy bag, because she thought it was really actually amazing and she wanted to eat it now. And I put Smarties in her hand.
Oh no, so she's not gonna like this slime either. Thanks for sharing that. Okay, so that's gonna be our experiment today. But before we get this started and we put our scientist hats on, let's go through all the ingredients and equipment that we're going to need. So I'm going to go through it and you just look, make sure you have everything before we get started. Okay? So you can go through it with me. We're going to have cornstarch. Okay? See, some people have the exact same box as me. Cornstarch. Super. Okay, the next thing we're going to need is some sort of marshmallow fluff. Amazing. Okay, then we're going to need some, mine's in a jar, but it's powdered sugar. Powdered sugar, super. We're going to need some sort of vanilla extract. Amazing. And then I have them here. You don't need to have them, but I have some food dye. You might have a particular color that you have. You might have lots of colors, and so we can have fun with those later. If you don't have them, don't worry. It's not going to change the experiment. It's only to add some color to our slime. Okay, so not a big deal if you don't have them. Okay, so that's all our food ingredients. Now, the equipment that we need is some sort of, I said, some sort of a bowl. Okay, so bigger than maybe your cereal or your breakfast bowl, some sort of a mixing bowl would be great. Just for when you're stirring, you don't want it going over the edge. And if you don't have a mixing bowl, as I said, you can use a saucepan. Anything like that is perfect. Also going to need some measuring cups and spoons. Okay, super. And you're going to just need a regular spoon, any sort of regular spoon. Okay. And then after that, for the mixing, you might have a spatula, you might have a large kind of spoon to mix with, something that we can mix everything together. Okay, make sure everyone has all that. Give me a thumbs up if you've got all those. Super, thank you. All right, cool, okay. So today is all about, we're going to make slime. But the main thing we are learning about today is something we're learning, this is bringing your math teacher will be happy that we're learning about this today. It's something called ratios. Anyone ever heard of that kind of complicated word called ratios? Rylan, you want to share what you kind of understand to be a ratio?
Well, it's basically just the measurement of something. Like it can be a liquid or a solid.
Okay, close, good. So it is it's an amount, you're definitely right, and it's comparing two things. So let's say I'm going to go through a little activity first. So when I say a ratio, I have 2 tomatoes and 1 orange. So the ratio for this, if I'm on about tomatoes to orange, it's going to be 2 to 1. That's the ratio. For every 2 tomatoes, there's going to be 1 orange. Okay, so I'm going to try another one. We're still doing tomatoes and oranges, but let's see, unmute yourself or put up your hand if you know what the ratio of tomatoes to oranges is for this one. Yeah, or you can use your fingers. Let's see if I can call on someone. Max, you want to give it a go? I'll hold up the oranges again. No? Okay, don't worry. Rylan, I'll come back to you because you had your fingers up. What is the ratio for this, for tomatoes to oranges?
3 to 2.
So listen to the way I said it. You're almost correct, and this is where it can get complicated. But I said tomatoes to oranges.
2 to 3.
Excellent. Well done. So that's where you got to listen. If it was oranges to tomato, it would be 3 to 2. So you got to listen to what the ratio wording is as well. I'll do one more. Okay. We have bananas. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 bananas. And let's do this. And oranges. What is the ratio for bananas to oranges?
4 to 2.
Excellent, Emma. Good job. 4 to 2. Now, when you are a kitchen scientist, ratios are really important when you're baking as well. Why? Can anyone think of why it might be important? Anyone think of why it might be important when you're baking or making something that ratios are important?
If you're using like food coloring or something and you want a certain color for your food, then you need to come up with a certain ratio to get the color that you want.
Amazing. That was exactly the example I was going for. So food coloring ratio has to be really important because if I'm putting in red, but I only want a light red, and I have some, let's just say I'm putting marshmallow fluff. I got to think, okay, the ratio might be 1 cup to 1 drop. So, or if I want a really dark red, it might be 2 drops. So excellent. Food coloring is an example. Other things like if you're using baking powder or baking soda, because they're going to raise, maybe you're making bread or cupcakes or a cake. So all of those are really important because the food changes the way it might look, which is food coloring, or it might change the texture or the taste as well. So say, for example, you're making cookies and you're making 12 cookies and the ratio of the mixture to the cooked chocolate chips is only 1 cup chocolate chips. But what about if I wanted to make 24 cookies? I would have to put in 2 cups because otherwise the ratio wouldn't be the same. So it's always really important. And that's what we're going to learn today when we're making our slime. We're going to slowly add in something called cornstarch and see what will happen to the slime. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start measuring our ingredients into the bowl. Okay, first of all, has anyone ever made slime before? Has anyone ever made edible slime? Give me a thumbs up if you've ever made edible slime before. Okay, Rylan has, I see other people have, Katie has, excellent. Okay, so as we go along, we're going to see how the texture, so that's the feel of the slime gets, because you don't want it sticky. You want it to stretch, but you don't want it sticky. Okay, so the very first thing, can everyone get out their bowl and their marshmallow fluff? Okay, super, and we're going to add 1 cup of marshmallow fluff. Now, if you look at my marshmallow fluff and my measuring cup, I'm not going to be able to scoop that out. Okay, so instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a spoon. Okay, I'll put this down so you can see everything. I'm going to get a spoon and just scoop this marshmallow fluff into the 1 cup until it's full up. And we've done measuring before. We know that it has to be full to the top or else it's not really 1 cup. Okay, so if everyone can do that now, and I know it's super sticky. We're gonna keep going. It smells like marshmallow. And just, it's really sweet too. Good job, everyone. I know it's sticky. And what you can do, this is a trick. I've done this before with some of you when we baked, is you can get 2 spoons and you can scrape it off the other spoon. Okay, so I have about one cup there of marshmallow fluff. And you can see it's kind of flat to the top, a little bit raised, but that's okay. Okay, and then we're just gonna scrape that into our bowl or your mixing bowl or whatever you have. Make sure you get all the ingredients out. Okay, so I'll let everyone do that and then we'll go on to the next step. Okay. Good job. And when you're done, you give me a thumbs up, but take your time. Excellent. Thank you. Okay, we'll give everyone another minute. And if you're waiting, the next ingredient you can get at is your powdered sugar. And look at your measuring cups and see if you can find 1/4. So that will be a 1-4, okay? So a 1-4, that's 1/4 of a cup, okay? So you're gonna need powdered sugar and 1/4 of a cup. Super.
Is it this one?
Let me see. Yeah, perfect, 1/4 cup, excellent. Okay, good job. Okay, the next thing, so we're going to put a 1/4 cup of this powdered sugar into the mixing bowl. And what you can do is, if you have the flat of a knife, I've done this with baking before, I'll show you, because remember, when you're baking, you want it level. Look at that, that is too heaped. You don't want a heaped measuring cup, you want it to be flat. So you just get the back of the knife, and you just scrape it off like that. And then you have exactly a 1/4 cup. Because this is also important with your ratios to make sure your measurement is correct. Okay, so that's our powdered sugar done. So I'll put that to the side. How are we doing? Good, and then you put the powdered sugar in with the marshmallow fluff. Super. And give me a thumbs up when you've that part done. Amazing, okay, cool. See, Max is still going. Peter and Mayo are doing good. Excellent. Good job, Max. Okay, and then if you're waiting, vanilla extract. Okay, do you think we need a lot or a little bit of vanilla extract? Who can tell me? Who can tell me? Peter and Mayo?
A little.
A little, excellent. Why do we only need a little bit of it?
Because it's super strong.
Excellent. It is super strong. It's very concentrated. So you only need a small little bit of it. So we're adding this for our flavor because
And it's Qatar and meal.
Qatar and meal. Okay, thank you. So we're adding in this because it's going to be edible slime, so it's going to make it taste a little better. Yes, Natalie, do you have a question?
My name is Emma.
Emma, I'm mixing you both up because you're both on the same screen.
Yeah, but anyways, I'm falling far behind. I'm only on the powdered sugar.
Okay, you take your time. Put in your powdered sugar and we'll wait So a 1/4 cup of powdered sugar.
How many? A 1/4 cup, but like how many of a 1/4 cup?
Just one 1/4 cup of powdered sugar.
Okay, I'm done with that.
Okay, the next thing you can get is your vanilla extract, and we're looking for 1/2 teaspoon. So not a tablespoon, a teaspoon, so it's the smaller one. So you can kind of see it there, 1/2 teaspoon, because as my own Pitara said, we only need a small bit of it. And we're going to measure that, and it's going to also go into our bowl. Okay, is everyone following? Good job. Super, everyone's following instructions really well today. Okay, and I'll show you, this just goes in on top. All right, and we're done with the vanilla also. We don't need any more vanilla for today's experiment. Give me a thumbs up when that is done. Super, well done. Okay, the next thing you can get out is cornstarch. Now this is the main part of our experiment, okay? So cornstarch is, it's used in baking, and it's like a thickening agent, okay? So it absorbs all that liquid. And remember we said we don't want our slime to be sticky, but we want it to be stretchy. So this is the secret. Oh, I put it all over me. So this is the secret to making our slime stretchy but not sticky. But how much do we use, okay? So we're gonna practice our ratios today, and we're gonna start off with just using 1/4 of a cup. Can anyone make a prediction at what they think the ratio to ratio of marshmallow fluff to cornstarch will make the perfect slime?
I think about the same amount, about
Okay.
1 cup.
Okay, that's a good prediction. Rylan, did you want to make a prediction?
I thought it was 1 cup too.
So you think 1 to 1. Okay, does anyone else want to make a prediction? Anyone else want to make a prediction? No? Okay, so we have 2 predictions of 1 to 1. Well, how about we'll start off with a 1/4 cup. And we'll keep going, we'll keep adding a 1/4 cup until we have the perfect slime. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna add 1/4 of a cup to our mixture. Okay, make sure it's nice and level and flat, because when you're doing, scientists are doing experiments, they gotta try make sure all the ingredients are exact measurements. So that 1/4 of cornstarch goes into our mixture. So everything's looking very white at the moment, so that's why we're going to use our coloring dye later on. Okay, so at the moment we have 1 cup of marshmallow fluff and a 1/4 cup of cornstarch. So that ratio is 1 to a 1/4, okay? 1 to a 1/4. Now, can everyone get their spatula or their mixing spoon or whatever they have, and we're going to stir and see what the slime is looking like. So stir, stir, use that elbow grease. And you gotta keep mixing, mixing. And it's really powdery at the moment. But it's, I know by the feel of it, it's still sticky. You might have to press down a little bit, keep stirring. I'm even gonna, yeah, it's still sticky. How's everyone doing? Doing good. Rylan, you have a question?
I have a question. Where are we gonna add the food coloring?
The food coloring, we're gonna wait another little bit. I think we're gonna, until we have the perfect amount of slime or the slime texture, we'll add it at the end then. So until we decide how much, so you can see, it's not really coming together yet, but it's still, I put my finger in when I'm putting it off the spatula and it's still too sticky, okay? So we're gonna need a little bit more cornstarch. But it is coming together. So I kind of have a ball, but it's still just a little bit too sticky. So I think the girls might be right. I don't think the ratio of 1 cup to 1/4 cup is enough. So we're going to add another 1/4 cup. Okay? So is everyone with me on that? We're going to add 1 more 1/4 cup of cornstarch. And we'll see what happens. Okay, and we got to make sure we're stirring it really good, getting it in between all the marshmallow fluff. Because as we said, we want it stretchy, but not sticky. Okay, it's kind of getting a little messy. You can see it's kind of on my fingers. That's okay. Good job, Rylan. Yeah, Rylan, you're feeling it. Isn't it still sticky? Still a little, yeah, it's still a little bit too wet. Too sticky. Okay. Good job, everyone. Okay, so can anyone tell me what this ratio is? So we have in 2/4 cups of cornstarch. So this ratio would be 1 cup to 1/2 cup. And that ratio
Ours is gooey.
it's still gooey. Good job. So you got to keep stirring so you can see. Let me try.
No, ours is not gooey.
Oh, it's not gooey. You got to, even what you can do, see what I'm doing here? You can pick it up in your hand.
Oh, okay.
Because our hands are clean, so you can kind of see it's still not stretchy, it's sticking too much. So I don't think our ratio is working a little bit. But yeah, you might have to pick it up in your hand because sometimes when you're stirring it, it's too powdery.
Right. It is falling apart.
So you can see mine, it's still in the ball, it's getting there. It's just a little, you can see it's almost getting there, but it's still a little too sticky. So if you're at this stage with me, it's kind of picked up in your hand and it's like a ball, but it's still sticking to my hands. And when I pull it apart, it's still too sticky. So we need more cornstarch, because remember I said it's a thickening agent and it's going to make it less sticky. It's going to absorb all that moisture in that liquid. So we're going to add another 1/4 cup. Okay, so we have 2/4 cups added already. 2/4 equals a half.
Excuse me?
Yes.
Ours is not sticking and it's falling apart.
Okay, let me have a look at yours.
Okay.
I'll get you up on the screen. Who is saying that? Is it Katie? Is that you?
Yeah.
Okay, let me have a look at your screen. Show me your bowl.
Actually, no.
Okay, so it's coming together. You just got it almost like put it down. You got to pat it with the powder.
I think we should, like.
You think which? Okay. Okay, so we're going to add another 1/4 cup. I'm just going to wash my hands. We're going to add 1 more 1/4 cup to our slime, because we're not exactly there yet, because I said it's still a little.
Add another 1/4
Yes.
cup.
So that means at this stage we should have 3/4 cups. So this is the 3rd one that we've added. And we're getting closer to that ratio that Rylan, Emma, and Natalie suggested. So I'm adding in 1 more, and I know it looks a little powdery at first, but then you just gotta keep mixing it. And as I said, you use your hands, and it's getting there, definitely. Okay, so as you can see, and I think I'm gonna put in the food coloring after this, because it's hard to see the white on the screen. So I'm gonna get in my hands, like the last time, because sometimes when you use your hands, it's a little bit easier. And you press down. It's almost like if you've ever kneaded bread with maybe someone at home, It's almost like kneading bread. And you want to get all that cornstarch into the slime. Okay. Good job. How is it turning out? We're getting there. I see some people are making progress. Good job. So let's see. Oh, yes. Okay, now it's not really sticky.
Yeah, it's not stretchy at all.
It's not? Okay, let's see. Hang on. It's falling. It's getting there. And then what you can do, this is what, it just depends on the way you like your slime. You could have added like more marshmallow fluff. You just play around with the ratio so you can see that that's stretching.
Okay, thank you.
There you go. Okay, at this stage, if you want, I'm going to add a little bit of food coloring. So you can see this a little better. Look how much that's stretching. Because we don't want it sticky. You know that sometimes slime is really sticky? We just want it stretchy. Okay, who wants to pick the color that I'm going to add to mine? Okay, I see Ryland's hand shut up. I have the primary colors of red, yellow, green, and blue.
Blue.
You want blue? Okay, we can do that. Now, I think it was either Emma or Natalie at the start said with food coloring, you're only going to need a few drops. So I'm going to put about 3 drops. 2 and 3. Okay. Let's see. This is going to be a case of you got to work it in. Maybe we should have put this at the start. Maybe. You know what? That's okay. It's going to get on my hands, but you can see it's starting to change color. You seeing that blue coming through? It's almost like a ball. You just got to work it in. I'm going to have blue all over my hands now, so that's okay. It's like a marble color. See that? See the way it's stretching now? Look at that. Ryland, how's yours turning out? Okay, it's getting there. And if you think it needs more cornstarch, you can add it. But look at the way mine has come now. Stretching. And you can see the blue, so I like have a blue ball now. So let's try one more. Let's see if I can stretch this apart. And it was really close to your prediction of 1 to 1. It's stretching. Look at that. Whoa. All right. And then if you're finished, what you can do, as I said, it's not the healthiest thing to eat, but it is edible. So if you wanted to, you could try a little bit of it, but it's going to be super, super sweet. So I don't recommend eating a lot of it or it's going to rot your teeth. It's because it's just full of sugar, but it's like edible slime. Ooh. Okay, let's see how everyone is doing. Okay. See if everyone's working it in. Oh, good job, Katie. That looks great. Try pull it apart. Is it pulling apart like slime? Oh, excellent. Okay. It's kind of pulling apart. Maybe you can experiment and try add more marshmallow fluff or even more cornstarch. Good job. Getting thumbs up. Excellent. All right. Does anyone else want to show me their finished product before we leave? Max, how did you get on? Did you try pull it apart?
We haven't started our food coloring yet.
Okay, that's okay. And maybe the food coloring, we could have put it in at the start. It might have been a little easier, but that's how you learn with experiments. You just got to keep trial and error. With bakers, they make their recipes sometimes 100 times before they're happy with the ratios. Oh, good job. Is it Althea? Is that how I say it? Perfect. It's a beautiful name. Show me it stretching apart, and you did green. Excellent. And you can play around it. You can add more marshmallow. Oh, that's a good stretch. Good slime. Excellent. Did you try taste a little bit of it? Did you like it? No? Yeah, it's like sometimes it's a little bit too sweet, and then there's like a lot of cornstarch in it too. But excellent.
It was too sugary. I didn't want to eat it anymore.
Yeah, it's very, very sweet.
One time I ate a whole marshmallow. It was really good, but when I eat this, oh no.
That's because you got more sugar in there. You got that powdered sugar. So yeah, it's extra sweet. But good to know that it is edible. Oh, excellent. Did you have fun? So what was the final ratio? Can you remember?
4 plus 2 or 2, I think.
You're very close. You're very close in a way. It would have been technically 4-3 because it was 3/4 of a cup and then 1 whole cup, which is equal to 4. Or you could just say 1 cup to 3/4 of a cup. So good memory. Well done. So, and then it could be different for someone else. It just depends on what way you like your slime. Maybe someone added more cornstarch or more marshmallow fluff. So it's an experiment you can play around with.
We didn't have any marshmallow fluff, so we just melted marshmallows.
Excellent. I meant to say that at the start. If you didn't have marshmallow fluff, that's exactly what you do. Just melt the marshmallows a little bit. And then what you might find is the more you play around with it, the more sticky it gets because the heat is kind of making more liquid. So mine is getting sticky already. So I might find, oh, I'll add more cornstarch as it goes along. So then it absorbs in that liquid again.
Cornstarch because we didn't have a lot.
Okay. Well, perfect. Well, that was our experiment today. It was all about ratios. And if you didn't get the right slime texture or it was still a little bit sticky or it just wasn't coming together, just keep trying. That's what experiment's about. Keep adding a little bit of cornstarch in, a little bit of even extra marshmallow fluff if you think there's too much, and then you'll get to the right slime. And then you could make 2 balls of different colors. So thanks everyone for joining in today. I hope everyone hopefully maybe gets back to school or maybe you're at online school or whatever you're doing, but keep up the good work and have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.
You are very welcome. Thanks. Bye, everyone.
We only have 1 food coloring.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye.